Goal 5. Dialogue. Strong writers use dialogue in appropriate places to make the characters more realistic and add more interest to the story. Dialogue helps us understand the characters. The goal of this station is to improve the dialogue in your narrative. As part of this goal, you may need to add dialogue where it makes sense to do so, remove dialogue where it seems forced, revise word choices to make your dialogue more realistic to the character, or change the tone of your dialogue to make it more realistic to the character. Here's an example of dialogue from Walk Two Moons. "Oh, honestly, Phoebe," I said, "do you want me to answer the door?" Phoebe took a deep breath. "We'll do it together." She opened the door and said hello in a cool voice. "Is this 49 Gray Street?" the young man said. "Yes," Phoebe said. "So the Winterbottoms live here?" After Phoebe admitted that yes, it was the Winterbottom residence, she said, "Excuse me a moment, please," and she closed the door. "Sal, do you detect any signs of lunacy? There doesn't appear to be any place he could be hiding a gun. His jeans are really tight. Maybe he has a knife tucked into his socks." Phoebe could be really dramatic. "He isn't wearing any socks," I said. Notice that dialogue is a conversation between two or more characters in the story. To make your dialogue realistic, read the dialogue out loud. Pay attention to how the words sound. Fix the awkward structure or the too perfect grammar and the long-winded responses. In other words, try to make your dialogue sound like people would actually talk. Leave out as much as possible. Don't use dialogue to dump information on the reader. That's what narration is for filling in information that the reader needs. Use dialogue to reveal characters' personalities. Here are some examples. "And you've given me so many reasons to be cheery." This sounds like a sarcastic character. Or this one. "Well, try and pretend. See, like this. I'm smiling at you even though you're aggravating me." This character has a rhythm to his or her speech and chooses words like aggravating. "Well, you better learn fast. You've got about as much charm as a dead slug." So, "you better learn fast" isn't correct grammar, but it's what this character would say. Not every character would choose to compare a person to a slug. So on the first read through your story, read for realistic dialogue. Read through your story out loud and focus on the characters' words. Do your characters sound like you imagine them? Revise as needed and highlight any changes that you make. Stop the video now so you can do that first read for realistic dialogue. When you're done, you can start the video again. Now it's time to look at the formatting of your dialogue. Notice in this example from Walk Two Moons that with outer dialogue, each time a new character speaks, a new paragraph begins. So it says, first paragraph is this 49 Gray Street, the young man said. New paragraph. Yes, Phoebe said. New paragraph. So the Winterbottoms live here. So you have to be sure and hit your enter key before you move on. Your dialogue should be organized like this. On your table, there's a resource that you've used before. It's the Rules for Formatting and Punctuating Dialogue. Use this resource sheet to check the punctuation, capitalization, and organization of the dialogue in your story. Go ahead and do your second read. This time you're looking for the formatting. Focus on punctuation, capitalization, and organization. Remember to use the resource sheet on your table and revise. As you revise, highlight the changes that you make. Now, go to step 3 on your directions sheet. You may view this video again as needed when making your revisions.